What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the Planet of Doubt podcast, where we doubt everything. I'm here with the squad. My name is Chris.
CX Drive in the building.
I see. Oh,
Man, neat.
And it's your boy John Lewis. I like the energy that we have going on right now. Welcome to the P.O.D. Planet of Doubt podcast.
Number 4.
What is this for?
This is episode number 4. Look at us, episode number 4, with all the content we've been releasing.
We made it 4 episodes, guys. Four episodes without getting canceled. I'm proud of us.
worth the flag.
Well, I do hate all of you guys. So.
We're here, episode 4. And as it seems, according to our algorithms, our YouTube algorithms, you guys actually like these podcasts. This is like the podcast is our most viewed other than our segments, which is great. Thank you for liking the long content. Thank you for being involved in our conversations. And like I said, get in the comments and help us out. What do you like? What did you don't like? Give us some feedback. We're always open to that. Here we are, episode number 4. How y'all boys feeling out here in the streets?
Good. I feel good, man. Everything.
Chilling, bro. Ready to go back to work tomorw. So there's that.
That's disgusting.
But, yeah.
let's do announce that everybody has a great mic finally.
Woo!
Thank you, Jesus.
You can hear us clearly.
Now everybody should be leveled, decent, and I think we all sound pretty damn good. So let's shout out to that.
Yeah, we got an album. We got an R&B album coming soon, so y'all look out for that.
We can all finally record our verses.
Yeah, Manny. I mean, it's weird because like a lot of people like Aventura Mall is open already. Sargas has been open, but I'm sure there's still a couple stores that are just like iffy with the sticky, trying to see.
And like all the riots like really back things up. That's really what it was. So like now that shit's like calming down a little bit, you know, we're gonna see some other stores get open probably.
So Manny, what's the etiquette now when you go back to work? What are the requirements? What do you need?
So first and foremost, I need somebody at the door with hand sanitizer, just ready at all times.
Really?
Are you serious?
Nah, I'm playing. No, so
John likes that idea.
Yeah.
Wait till I tell you how.
Yeah.
That's how it is at Disney.
Yeah. So basically the way it is, it's like we don't let any more than 50 people in the store, and that includes like the employees. I have a pretty big store, so if that sounds like too much, it's a huge store. Like I kind of see it working out. And then like, so if somebody tries something on and doesn't want it, we put gloves on, grab the stuff,
and then you burn it.
And burn it. Yes.
Okay.
Do you work for my company? That's great.
I mean, I could.
Yeah. No, but you put it like in a bin, and then I think it's like it's there for 24 hours, and nobody touches it. Like it just kind of stays there. Because the virus can't last like on a non-biological surface for longer than 20 or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. So I haven't been back myself, but my store is open. And it's pretty similar. I think the only difference, Manny, is that when a customer tries it on, instead of putting it in quarantine for 24 hours right away, we have to steam our clothes first.
I guess.
Sure.
I don't know.
Whatever that means. So I don't know if because the heat's concentrated on the fabric, maybe or whatever. But we do have like a certain percentage of people that could come in the store at one time. There is like 6 feet apart stations. There is hand sanitizer stations throughout the square footage as well. And I think my store low key right now isn't taking cash. It's
really?
like it's all cards.
Boy,
yeah,
I've
seen that.
Which I'm kind of fucking.
A lot of places.
Yeah.
And I think we have like the plastic wall shields too.
That's what's up. Hell yeah.
Shout out to them. I like being home, so let me know how it goes.
Let me know how it goes.
Man, do you feel comfortable out there? Do you feel comfortable like being in front of people? Like,
question.
Like the thing is for now, yeah, because like when I had gone back like earlier, you guys know, and then when the riots happened, they had to stop it again. But when I was back, like the traffic really wasn't crazy going in there. Like we never really had to close down because there was too many people. Like I don't think at any point I saw more than 10 people in that store, customer wise. I didn't see more than 10 customers in that store at a time. So like for now I am. Once shit starts getting like a little crazier, like I don't know, you know what I mean? We got to kind of see, but for now,
let's acknowledge though that right now, I don't know how the rest of the world is feeling, and Chris, you tell us how you're looking at Jersey, but dog, low key right now, like people are deciding that this shit is like over, and it's not. Like the numbers are out here, it's still going up and about. It's just like the reporting of it is kind of being like I don't know how the word is. It's like going unsurveillanced or like under the radar a little bit.
I think partially that might be because of the whole George Floyd thing.
For sure.
Yeah, and rightfully so. You know what I mean. But like that's getting kind of a lot of coverage, and maybe that's why you don't see as much stuff about the coronavirus. I don't know.
Yeah, I only say it for our viewers.
Yeah.
Like, just don't get fooled by like what other people are doing. You make your own decisions. If you do decide to be out and about, because I feel you. And trust me, like, I'm not gonna lie. I stepped out my house yesterday too to go see a friend I haven't seen in 3 months. But
wow, I'm upset because we haven't hung out, and we're family. We're family. Like you always like to remind me, we're family, and we haven't hung out. But okay,
I gotta make my rounds, Manny. I gotta, you know.
Sure.
Manny, another month he'll be there.
Yeah. I'm taking this shit hella slow, right? But no, yeah, like it's everybody knows that it's hard to stay home. It's already been so freaking long.
Yeah.
But just don't fall for like what everybody else is doing. Like obviously, if you do decide to go somewhere, take all the safety precautions that you have to. If you are going out somewhere, ask them how they've been like maneuvering throughout this shit, just to like be careful and stuff. But how you looking at Jersey over there, Chris?
Jersey, for the most part, the businesses that are essential are still open. The food, like the restaurants, they're all curbside pickup, or you go inside and you pick it up. You can't really sit down everywhere.
You haven't sat down anywhere yet?
Nah. Nowhere around here is letting people sit and eat, which sucks because that's like that was like one of my favorite things to eat. Everyone knows I love to eat, but like going to restaurants and stuff and just socializing, like it's a great time. And unfortunately, for the past few months, we haven't been able to do that. But yeah, they're not allowing people in. But for the most part, like parks and beaches and shit like that, like there's not really any restrictions that I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
I was just down the shore where they have a boardwalk, and like there was thousands upon thousands of people just walking with masks, no masks, nothing. I mean, like you said, people take it at your own risk, pretty much. If you don't want to get sick or you're afraid of getting sick, stay home or wear masks, wear gloves outside, do something like protect yourself. But for the most part, over here, it's starting to get back to normal.
How you said about somebody brought this to my attention that I didn't really peep at first, but like you said, like a lot of parks are open,
Mm-hmm.
but what we're not realizing is that, you know, people who can't go to the gym and work out, they're working out at the park. People who are signed up to sports are now working out at the park. So like all of these types of people are meeting up at the park because that's where you can get your workout for the most part. So then it makes the park a lot more busier than it would be like just like on a regular day. But I know
that's like something like that you can do pretty much now. It's just go outside and walk or like do something because you can't really go anywhere. So like just being outside just feels fun and feels different. It feels better than being freaking stuck inside. But yeah, I feel what you're saying.
What's up, Jose? I heard you was out and about in the restaurant the other day, dog.
You was on a date, Jose? You was on a date?
Out and about.
Yeah. What's her name?
Tell us the experience for that one, my friend, so the listeners can know.
It was one day.
I forgot how it goes.
Nah, this is I think the first time, I think it was last week that I went to a restaurant, and basically it was the second week that the restaurants have opened, but they have the restrictions in it. It's only 50 capacity each.
50%.
Yeah, 50% of whatever restaurant it is. We were sitting in a booth, so every other booth was empty, and the server always has a mask. You come in with a mask, but you could take it off when you're gonna eat or if you're sitting down. And also the server is not as like, you know, like the server goes to you every time you need something or need water, like so much times. In this occasion, you have something next to you that basically if you lift up, you could call your server to come to you. So so they're not really that frequent, and I guess.
That's crazy, Jose. I went to a restaurant yesterday, and it was the same as that thing. They were like, yo, like while you're getting seated, like put your mask on, and then when you get seated, like take it off, whatever. But it seemed kind of pointless if I'm being 100% real. Like,
oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I got to keep my mask on for like 8 steps and then take it off.
Oh, yeah, I was about to confess and say that I was at the same restaurant as Jose the other day. But apparently Manny's out here too.
But yeah, that's definitely like it's the restaurants they need to do that to have that under their belt. Because if there was a restaurant that had none of those rules, they could like somebody could
get
report 'em.
closed. Yeah.
They
But
But
close 'em
it
down.
is pointless because like right when you walk in and you're waiting to be seated, like so are hella other people. So it's like, all right, cool, we got our mask on, all huddled up in one place. But yeah, I mean, like even that though, like even after going out like that, like now I feel like I have to stay at home for like a minute again till I go out
Well,
again.
yeah,
Like I don't
I'll
know.
like I'm right now. I'm used to now like always carrying one of these,
Mm.
the Germex or stuff like
Purell.
that, or Purell, because
Insert ad here.
I think I use it like every day. Like I've never used to use that like at all before this, but like I just got used to like using it if I like touch something or like around.
But make sure you're
things.
washing your hands though.
No, yeah, all that also like more frequently than before.
Oh yeah.
But I haven't like been out that much. Like only necessary like groceries or things I really need to get. But now I'm slowly starting to like either meet up with people or have people over and stuff like that. So things are
Well,
definitely changing in that sense. But I gotta make sure like
right,
I'm good, you know, and the people
for
around
sure.
me.
Well, speaking of people meeting up and going out,
Oh, transition kings.
who wants to update us on the latest NBA news on the huddles of the sports world?
I got y'all.
What's going on over there?
So on last week's podcast, I think we reported that the NBA was coming back July 31st, and everything was looking good. No one was saying nothing, and July 31st was the day. Now, Sir Kyrie Irving of the Brooklyn Nets has started a whole new trend, which can be justified, and some will have problems with it. I personally do have a small problem with it. That he is now saying that he doesn't want to go back to playing until there is reform and there's justice for what has gone on in the world with George Floyd and Black Lives Matter and stuff like that. So he says he'd rather sit out than to play until all of that stuff is kind of like resolved, and it's not looking like that's going to happen anytime soon. So now when he said that, a bunch of other players have reported that they don't want to play either. Like Manny's boy Dwight Howard on the Lakers
Take
said
that back.
that he said that he will not play until there's some reform or there's something resolved, like in that case of Black Lives Matter and George Floyd. So a lot of players are now deciding they may not want to play this season, which is a huge deal because if you're losing a player like Dwight Howard, who on the Lakers is a huge deal on that team, that's a playoff team who has a potential of going to the finals. So like,
Let me say this though, Chris. I low key think it's genius. Speaking from a non-selfish standpoint, because now it's like it's the athletes, and especially since basketball is predominantly a black sport, or majority of them, saying like, oh no, we ain't gonna continue giving out some entertainment until shit starts getting right, until we see some change. So what best to do it and ask for the change when y'all think we're gonna come back and play some ball? So that's kind of low key fire in that stance, because now you're kind of forcing, like it's crazy because it's like y'all let the planning be done, y'all let the schedule be done, and then now it's kind of like they're gonna be more forced to make some moves or changes because they already did such a hard work to get it to about to be the beginning of the season again. So if you have a lot of the players like, oh no, yeah, I thought it was gonna be sweet. Nah, like let me see some changes. Like let me see, some type of change, or like I understand because we're all extra hype, but we can't ignore that perspective either.
no,
Yeah, and
I go ahead, man. Go ahead.
yeah,
Man.
so like a couple things with this. Like one, like I do get that side of it. I really do. But two, like the NBA is the woke league, you know what I mean? And to me, like I would get it with the NFL, you know what I mean? Because they usually
Right.
up until recently don't really support like Black Lives Matter and all that stuff. The NBA like is gonna back you 100% with stuff like that. So to me, I'm thinking about it like, okay, so everybody is dying for sports to come back. You're gonna have the wokest sport in the country basically be like prime time because they're gonna have 8 games to go right into the playoffs, thus giving you the ultimate platform in the league that will back you up on it 100%. Like I just don't see how that is counterproductive, especially when there's so many players that like speak out like that.
Right.
That
Yeah.
the eyes are gonna be on the league, man. So to me, it's like you should, if you really feel that way about it, you should use that as a chance to like, you know, put the word out that we need reform. But you know, to each his
the
own.
rapper,
Yeah.
the rapper of the game, he's kind of said the same thing. Like he
Yeah.
was like, he's on the side of if they don't want to play, it is what it is,
Yeah.
unless they are using their platform and letting the players do what they want as far as like promoting like the protests or Black Lives Matter. So I understand that too. I could definitely see it as opportunity for the better if the league lets them do what they choose to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I don't think we'll really know until they.
The funny thing is also that people are taking Kyrie's side, but LeBron James, even with all this news that came out, and Kyrie saying what he said that he will play, that he will not sit out, and he will, whatever happens, he is going to play. And now there's players like Patrick Beverley tweeting at him, was like, if King James is playing, I'm going to play too.
And that's crazy that he said that, because that's literally like their
enemies.
biggest. Well, the Celtics are the biggest rival, but of this season, like the Clippers are that's the biggest rival, saying that, like,
right.
Yeah.
The way Patrick Beverley said it though was different than what I feel like people were misinterpreting what he said. Patrick Beverley was in no way agreeing with LeBron. He was saying if LeBron is saying that there's going to be basketball, that means there's going to be basketball because LeBron runs the league. If LeBron's going to play, then we got no choice. The commissioner is going to force the league to come back because LeBron said so.
I'll read you the tweet. Patrick Beverley said, "Hoopers say what y'all want. If King James said he's hooping, we all hooping. Not personal, only business. # stay woke." So
yeah, I mean, I can see both sides of it. I can see how like a spice of sarcastic.
Because I think like a couple of days ago, Patrick Beverley was also saying that no basketball, just it was promoting more of the protests and stuff.
Well, this is
tough,
just made for a more crazier, interesting season for sure.
Just when we thought we had basketball back, we can
think if the NFL were to take a stand and not play next week, everything will be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I respect what Kyrie's doing. Like, I understand what he's doing, but like,
what he wants makes sense. But
what he
I don't think what they're gonna do is gonna actually change it.
Yeah, why did he wait so long? Why did he wait for
to
make a ruling? Yeah, because now it's like
they have to
they gotta
like
kind of
figure
respect
it out.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Well, like still like Kyrie, who I don't even think is gonna play when he comes back, right? Isn't he hurt?
No, he's part of the Brooklyn Hospital.
Brooklyn Hospital, exactly. A player that's not even gonna play, saying something and who doesn't have a chance at the playoffs, just coming in and barging in and convincing players not to play or to stay out. Like I said, again, I respect what he's saying because it does make sense. But now that we're at this stage and we're all craving sports back and they're going to pretty much start this playoffs right when they get back. And now key players are pretty much calling out because of that. It's a little upsetting. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, but you got to see it. Let's try to see it as a positive thing. If this could come out to something good, right, and it happens to achieve the goal, let it be, you know? I
got to be completely honest with you guys. It's just hard for me to have an unbiased opinion because like this was the year, you know what I mean? But I'm going to leave it at that. Like,
I know, because I like what Chris said. Like, not that I like, but what Chris said, like, if Kyrie isn't playing, then it's easier for him to take a stand because he's not even going to be playing. So that's kind of fucked up that you're putting everybody else in that position.
Yeah, it's kind of like putting people on blast. Like,
right. Do you mean it or do you really, or are you just salty yourself? But I'm not mad. Like, I'm trying to look at it like a musician. Like if Jay was announcing an album and like Def Jam Rock Nation was depending on this album, and then he decides like, well, I said it's gonna come out tomorrow, but if y'all don't change how much royalties I could get, and y'all don't bring some black executives into here, then the shit ain't dropping. Then that's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it forces like people to make moves because so many moves have already been made to get to that point. But it is tough to question people's intentions because you really just don't know like who's really fighting for the cause or taking advantage of the cause too.
You're gonna have such a grand stage when the NBA is back. Everyone's gonna be watching. Yeah, everyone's gonna be watching. That's gonna be like pretty much the only sports. I know soccer's coming back, but
no other no other sport is going to be in the playoffs, you know what I mean? And exactly. Like, and again, just to what I said before, like the NBA, like they 100% support like when the players wanted to wear the I Can't Breathe shirts. You know what I mean? When the Clippers did the protest for Donald Sterling, like they supported that like 100%.
Right.
So like that would be the stage to do it on, man.
To each his own. If the players want to kneel, they can kneel on live TV when everyone's watching it. And really
the league will not have a problem with it, bro.
They're not going to say anything. So I think playing is the best thing you can do. To be honest, like I just don't see what the end goal is really. Like what does Kyrie really want done? I know. I guess the end goal for all of this is just like kind of try to end racism or try to end like police brutality and stuff like that.
Yeah, but you're not. You're not gonna.
Really, there's no ending. What is good enough for you to come back? Is what I'm.
That's what I said though. Like ending racism, that's gonna be tough because it's been around for so long.
Yeah, and if it happens, it's gonna take like years, guy. Like that's.
But that's what I'm saying though. Like a lot of people are. I'm just gonna keep referencing the music industry, but a lot of people are saying like, yo, like, want to put a black box on your Instagram timeline talking about support Black Lives Matters. Yet you're a white owner of an industry of Warner Brothers or Universal, and we don't have no black execs here. We don't have black A&Rs who can call shots without calling a white dude. So that's the type of change that they want to start seeing. So it's not really like end racism immediately, because that's like, you know what I'm saying, that's going to take time, unfortunately. But to start making like within your own careers, within your own people, like start making those type of changes. Now, I'm not in the sports world, so I don't know what their goal there would be. But yeah, I don't see it like a end racism thing. I just think of like a more immediate change within the culture that they're in at the time, or every industry basically.
That type of change will take years, man. Like that's just not something that 2 months go by and nothing has happened.
Yeah, but if you make a rule, if you make a law, if you make a legislation, you know what I'm saying, like. And basically secure that change will come in the near future, then that's good enough. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like if they speak out on the behalf of like, okay, starting in the next blah, blah, blah years, we're going to start doing this process. We're going to start letting these coaches be owners, or we're going to start letting blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, like I said, I don't have the fucking answers to every industry that I'm not. I
still believe that the NBA is their best way to really get their voice heard.
I don't know. I agree with that for sure.
Just like, who came out this week? Dave Chappelle. Mm-hmm. Dave Chappelle came out and dropped I wouldn't say stand up, right? Just like commentary and
public hearing.
Yeah, public hearing. Yeah. He was just telling us and pretty much educating us on what happened with George Floyd, and what other what other incidents happened with other people and other cops and stuff like that. And it was tough to hear one of like the funniest people in our generation. I think Dave Chappelle,
the funniest
in my generation, is the funniest stand-up or comedian of all time. So to hear him get so serious and talk about all these like these police brutality and Black Lives Matter and stuff, like that shit really affected me. Like it really did hit, like him just talking about George Floyd and all the other incidents, and like he really just opened our people's eyes, because if Dave Chappelle, he's gonna get views, and especially Netflix dropping it, millions upon millions of people have viewed. I've seen it personally twice, 2 or 3 times actually. So I feel like that's a positive. He used his platform. That's his job. Right. His job is comedy and to bring joy to people and to really present. He's a presenter, and I think he used his platform very well to inform people on what's happening and what has happened and what needs to happen. Yeah. So I bring that back to Kyrie. Kyrie, your job is to play basketball, and other people are to play basketball. You can use that platform because you have a huge platform. Bring your voice to that, man. Like, do what you have to do there. People love to see you play. People really respect you. As much as I hate Kyrie, but that's as a basketball player.
This is his way of protesting. Like, you can't really go in one route of doing that. This is his way of doing it. There's not really one right way. One is not like that.
But it does look different when you're not gonna play at all. Yeah. So it's like
the way I think about it.
He's still an NBA player though.
Yeah.
He still has a say in it though.
Is like, if you want to like support the movement, like all that, like, all right, now imagine Dwight Howard in the NBA finals coming out, Black Lives Matter, George Floyd on the back. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like all the eyes are gonna be on you, man. And again,
No,
I feel like I'm
And
yeah.
how does that make all the other NBA players that want to play look? If I don't stand with Kyrie, I look like a piece of shit now because I didn't stand with him and I wanted to play. My team is how many games away from the playoffs, potentially making the finals, but now I got to sit out because Kyrie, who's not even going to play, wants to make a stand. Of course, we respect what he's saying, but like now you're like pitted against a corner. Like if I play, I'm not with the shits, but if I don't play, I'm with Kyrie and I'm respecting what he's saying. So like it's kind of unfair that position you put the players in.
I agree with that. That is fucked up. But Manny, I'll also say that like seeing I Can't Breathe shirt might not be enough. You know what I'm saying? Like we've been seeing it.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I'm saying? So like
I'm just saying that like as an example, but like there's a ton of shit,
That's the thing, is like if not playing, it seems like the most exaggerated format, but maybe the most effective.
Yeah.
Now I would rather Kyrie come out and have like a strategy, like, look, I'm not gonna play until we see this, and that. Don't just like throw it out in the air and then everybody got to figure it out too, because you're not really being fair to the league who might actually want to help. You know what I'm saying? So I do think that if you're gonna take a stand, we know what the stand is for, but is there something specifically within your career or that you want to see change,
or
like
your organization?
Right.
Yeah, I feel you. Got you. So Chris, you had brought up like earlier about Dave Chappelle, and that's funny because that's actually one of the stuff I had. So I was watching, I think it was the Joe Rogan podcast with when Kevin Hart was on there.
Kevin Hart,
and then they were talking about like how he ran into Chappelle and at like a comedy club and like he had gone up or whatever. And at the end of it said like, you have surpassed Richard Pryor, like he is the greatest comedian of all time. Now, personally, I've always let me not say always, but probably for the last like maybe 6 or 7 years, I have felt that like Dave Chappelle to me has always been my favorite comedian, and I think he's the GOAT. But I want to know like from other guys that watch stand-ups, like, do you guys have like a GOAT, and do you think it's Dave or is it somebody else? Like
my stand-up GOAT personally is Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy. I respect that because I love Raw and what was the other one?
Delirious.
Delirious. Yeah, I love both of those. Dog. He's funny. I don't hate that.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. My stand-up goal would have to go to Eddie Murphy.
Yeah,
I got a couple.
I would definitely put Dave Chappelle number 2 on there though.
I got a few. So definitely Eddie Murphy. Raw is one of the funniest stand-ups of all time.
Easy.
And to most comedians, he is the GOAT. Eddie
I want half, Eddie. I want half. That shit is too funny.
Dave Chappelle's number 1. I'm gonna be honest. That guy is a comedic genius. The Chappelle Show is one of the greatest shows of all time. Yeah. And his stand-ups they just don't fail.
And longevity, bro.
And longevity. And he is beating cancel culture. He is doing everything in his body to really bring it out and talk about things that if you bring it up now, you're gonna get called on it. You're gonna on sexuality and other stuff and political views. He doesn't give a shit. And the fact that we allow him to do it, and it's so funny, it's just like this guy is like he beat the simulation. Like people just love him. Even racists love him. I don't think there's a group of people that doesn't like.
No, I feel you. I know what's crazy is that like whenever like we think of like GOAT comedians, like it's always like usually African American comedians, and I'm like, bro, what about like the George Lopez's of the world? Like George Lopez is amazing. Funny, like he's too good.
George Lopez is hilarious. The George Lopez show too fucking good.
I love comedy and I watch every stand-up, but I'm not like married to a stand-up per se.
Yeah.
But I enjoy Cat Williams. To me, he's hilarious.
Cat Williams is too good.
But yeah, Dave is definitely like in the top 3 for sure. And especially because of what he was able to accomplish in the TV space, and then inspired Key and Peele type of shows, and like his inspiration, like his impact on the culture, like you could see it throughout like the generations.
And the crazy thing that after that show, when it ended, he was gone for years and years. Nobody knew about him.
And then he came back just doing stand up. Like it was crazy. Yeah.
Well, that's what I was gonna say when Chris said he could get away with it with like the cancel culture. I think 3 things are letting him get away with it. 1, he's fucking funny, so his talent is just there. 2, here he's rich, so it's like, what are you gonna do now? Like to cancel his money, it's not gonna work. And 3, I don't think there's been like crazy allegations towards him, right?
No,
so that kind of helps too.
Yeah.
That when you're like a clean, you have like a clean.
Nah, but he still gets away with jokes that most comedians won't even dare to doing their stand.
Yeah, but when you cancel somebody, you're stopping the flow of finances some way somehow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Like Dave doesn't need that. Like he's chilling as far as that goes.
Yeah,
I think it's also like the way he approaches certain topics, like in his I'm quoting here, but in his stand-up when he talks about the alphabet people, you know what I mean? It's just the way that he approaches stuff. It's from a very like, oh, this is insulting, but this isn't, you know what I mean, type of stuff. And it helps him kind of weave through that.
Yeah, it's definitely there's a different how do you call it, like generation of people that if they look at that type of comedy, they're quick to judge right there and then. Even from past comedians that they've said stuff, they're bringing that today and calling them out for that. Like example with Kevin Hart. That's a big thing about that, and he's always has to say sorry again. Like
right, that's true.
That's an ongoing thing with Chappelle. That doesn't happen.
However, damn, you put this shit in my hand, dog. You fell into the trap. Let's not. Who is the most political fucking comedian right now? Kevin Hart. You talk about a dude that took his stand up and jokes from raw and uncensored to very like cookie cutter jokes. You know what I'm saying? So although I'm sure he's rich as shit, I'm sure he still cares enough to not ruin like certain like connects that he has.
He's very smart at what he does.
But like I don't think Dave cares at all.
No, he
he's like, you gave me 3 Netflix deals, I'm cool with the 60. I'm chilling.
What's funny is even though he did get away with like his newest stand up and people like they just have to laugh because this shit is just funny.
Yeah,
it's funny because the like Rotten Tomatoes for his newest stand up special, what was it called? Sticks and Stones.
Sticks and Stones.
Like
yeah.
They gave him like what, like a 20% on Rotten Tomatoes, but then you go to the audience score and it's 100%.
Yeah,
so,
because
like,
some people didn't even see it. They were just making feedback on shit that they heard, and like just the critics weren't even really giving it a chance.
So you could just see the critics and the reviewers being exposed right there.
Right.
They didn't even give it a chance.
Let's see. So if there's Dave and there's Eddie,
I want to throw in Chris Rock.
If we're doing like a Mount Rushmore, like who else aside from those two? Chris Rock.
That's hard.
Like a personal Mount Rushmore, or like just based off, or like all time, like based off everything you've ever heard from anybody, even if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, let's do that because I feel like personal will take forever.
I think Richard Pryor deserves to be up there, even though I personally haven't watched much Richard Pryor. I know everybody that's any comedian in any field, any type of comedy you do, Richard Pryor, and you're a big fan of Richard Pryor. But I personally wouldn't know, but I think he belongs up there.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I would definitely put him up there. I don't know if y'all have ever heard George Carlin, white boy. But
George Carlin is so good, man.
He's somebody I personally would put up there. Like he's
who's that?
Man. George Carlin is he's an older gentleman that would really talk about. He was like the white Chappelle. If I'm being brutally honest with it, like he didn't give a fuck like saying what was on his mind, no matter what or how much in trouble he would get into.
Yeah, he
was the white Chappelle, and he.
Well, it's funny you say white Chappelle because I was gonna say, man, the dude that writes for Chappelle, what's his name? He's a stand-up comedian himself.
Neil Brennan, I think it is. I forgot his last name.
Glasses.
But I know.
He like helped write on the Chappelle show and stand-up. But go ahead, Chris.
If we're talking Mount Rushmore, I want to throw in Jerry Seinfeld. Maybe not for his like all his stand-ups, but Seinfeld the show is just brilliant. Him and Larry David are comedic geniuses. If you also seen Curb Your Enthusiasm, I will throw in Larry David also.
Look, I'll tell you this.
Chris is throwing two people like
but he's going by their shows that they had.
John told me a joke the other day. I'm throwing him in.
I will say this for Chris. It's the same thing as what Asiel said. Like for Pryor is that like I hear a lot of people throw a hell of respect to Jerry Seinfeld. A lot of like good comedians.
So
stand-up wise.
In that sense, I'll put him up there.
Definitely very
I personally don't think he's funny. I gotta be real with y'all.
Like he just came out with one this year, and that thing was cell phones. What's the thing about that? Like those type of shits. Like I'm like, all right, like
it's not. I would say that's not our type of comedy.
No, I said I was like maybe not all his stand-ups, but what he did with the Seinfeld show.
No, definitely with that.
Like I think I would throw him in to the Mount Rushmore. and he's well respected by.
I'm gonna let y'all finish the Mount Rushmore, but I'm just gonna throw in honorable mention just because he's funny.
Pablo Francisco.
No, but that's a good one. Fluffy.
I knew it. I knew you were gonna say him, dog.
He's just funny with the voices.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he's funny.
But
Gabriel
obviously,
Iglesias.
yeah, not Mount Rushmore, but yeah, I can finish that one.
Yeah. So I mean, let me see. So we got Pryor, Dave,
Mount Rushmore
Eddie.
is 4, right?
Yeah. So Pryor, Dave, Eddie, and then who's that last one that we're throwing up there? I low key want to give the nod to Kevin Hart. Even because
depends on what he's done.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm actually not the biggest Kevin Hart fan. I think he's kind of funny. I've never really watched his stand-ups and like absolutely died laughing. I know I'm in the minority with that, but that's just the way it is.
His stand-ups are great.
No,
Yeah.
Movies are awful.
But like he is like kind of the rock star of comedy, dog. Like if you look at it, so I'll put him as the last one for that.
Yeah, dude, to sell out stadiums like that, come on.
Yeah, like that's ridiculous, bro. Like, come on.
That's respect.
Yeah.
He just does too many movies, man. It's every time I see him in a movie, I'm like, God damn it, Kevin.
He has to, dog, because his stand-up is getting like really cheesy.
Yeah.
So he got to transition into something.
His last one wasn't that great.
Yeah, I went to the second last stand-up he did here in Miami. That shit was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. And
have y'all?
He really is like holding it down for stand-up and comedy right now. Like I can't really tell with Chappelle also. There's a few in there, but I would see like him more in like holding down like that fort.
I love Cat Williams, dog. Every time I see a stand-up, I'm dying.
Chrysler 300.
Who got weapons in mass destruction? Who got weapons in mass destruction?
Dog, y'all are gonna hate me for saying this, but
Nah, don't
never.
say it.
Dog, I've never really found him funny, dog. I gotta be real with
Oh,
y'all. Yeah,
Never.
I found him funny in other stuff. No, not even that. Like in other stuff, like how he popped up at the end of the "Pimpin' All Over the World" video. Like I thought that was funny. You know what I mean? But like his own shit. Yeah,
there's an alligator.
Man.
Yeah, his own shit though.
Cat Williams was one of the best stand-ups. And
I respect him because a lot of people say that. I respect it, man. I really do.
Have you given his stand-ups a chance?
I have, dog. I've back when I had in the iPod video days.
Oh my god, yo, me too.
I used to have like his stand-ups on there. Yeah,
it's good. Like you never know what he's gonna say or do. That's the crazy thing about it.
He was low key. What he was, I mean, I'm not gonna say he was Dave Chappelle before Dave Chappelle, but he did what Dave Chappelle does. He was calling out the shits in his stand-up.
He was loose.
Yeah, he would say what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then it's just whatever happened behind the scenes, like whether it is they making him look crazy or he really went crazy.
It's unfortunate how he's looked at right now.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Well, yeah.
Got his shit kicked by a 13-year-old.
Now that's funny.
That 13-year-old is a savage. You see that news report? That boy is talking him down.
Now, talking about stand-ups, talking about movies, I wanted to ask you guys a question. How do you go about watching a movie or any type of content with your partner? What is that process like? You have since we're all guys here, and whoever has a girlfriend has a girlfriend, whoever's just dating. Like when your girl's over and you're like, all right, let's Netflix and chill, or like, let's watch something. What is that process like? Because I know it's not easy. It's never easy as like nobody can just agree on something, but like, what's the process? How do you weed the shit out? How do you set the mood to what to watch for the rest of the night? What do you take into consideration or you don't take into consideration?
So you're talking
I'll
about
let all these guys go first.
In-home
John
movie watching?
John and Asiel take it.
I asked the question. I can't go right away.
That's what you're saying, John. Like you're saying, like in your house though, not like in movie theaters or nothing like that.
I mean, it could apply to movie theaters, but let's stay intimate more because to a movie theater, you kind of so you have to choose like whatever's out. So it kind of makes it easier. But like if you're in your home and like just trying to get into, it doesn't have to be a specific mood, but what's the process of you guys coming with like to finally watch something? Like how do you weed it out? What do you choose? Who gets to say?
So like in my last relationship, ultimately what we ended up doing was doing like on a turn basis. So like you pick one, I pick one, you pick one, I pick one. But the reason that happened was because before that it was a fucking nightmare. The way I personally like to do it is like I kind of get her options first, and usually I can find something from the girls' options. Because I guess I don't know, man. Like for most of the females, bro, like I have
rom-coms.
Yeah, like I like romantic comedies. So like if they pick a romantic comedy, I'm like yeah, whatever, I'm cool with that. And then also I'm into a lot of nerdy shit. You know what I mean? So I know some of that stuff is hard to swallow. So it's like I don't really like to give them a bunch of suggestions because I know they're not gonna like it. So that's basically what it is. I like to get their side of it and then kind of pick from that. And usually I'm okay with that.
I like the you go, I go.
Yeah,
it's fair.
Yeah. That's the best way to do it in my opinion. Like it says, you go,
It's
I go,
fair.
no complaints. Like
Yeah, because it's tough to find anybody but a significant other that has the same taste as you in anything, especially movies.
Yeah.
And because we're all fucking movie watchers, that's a whole nother thing.
Exactly. This group, like us, is horrible, bro. Because like we already have like the movies we got. Yeah, word. So,
yeah, we've seen everything. So like, how about this one? I saw it. How about that one?
Not even with a significant other, but since we're all movie watchers, I know we all do this. But when you want to choose a movie, you always lean towards your movie, and if it's not your movie, it's kind of like, all right, I might be out. I don't know. I'll catch y'all later.
So that's what you do, Chris.
I'm like,
yeah, Chris. Chris clears it on the female.
Yeah, Chris single as shit.
I suggest it 1,000 times. Then I'm like, we should watch this one though. This one's pretty good.
Oh, you want to watch that one? Actually, I gotta get going.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna lie, Chris. If I was your girl, pause. I'm cool off the Tarantino films because I'm not letting you throw in a Tarantino film.
Oh, you don't want to watch Death Proof with me?
I don't. I want to give you a kiss and not see blood in my face every 2 seconds.
I'll take that kiss, John.
Shit. Damn, it's getting a little steamy on the pod.
What else you guys got? How do you weed the process down?
Jose?
For me, I would just say if it's either something we both haven't seen that we know it's either. Tough. I know, but I'm saying like if we know it's either good or we're gonna enjoy it. Like it mostly would be like either comedy wise or like action or stuff like that. For like for me personally, I would go more on their side because if like I would watch anything. If it's something like I know they're not gonna be totally interested to, I wouldn't even recommend that. So like I would be kind of like more lenient on them.
Every time.
It depends, yeah. Like I wouldn't.
That boy trying to get into the family. I was like, hey, it's your turn again.
No, yeah, I don't think I really play mind in that. Like I wouldn't really care that much.
So you're just gonna let her take over the relationship and pick every movie I ever watched.
It's not every movie.
That's what I'm saying.
No, it's not every movie. Like we'll decide on what it is, what we watch and stuff like that. It's like
as long as I get the biz, I see you.
Yeah, hey, look at Jose. Look at
either
Jose.
we finish the movie or not. Something leads into the other thing. You know?
This guy.
Jose's like, Jose said it don't matter because we're not gonna watch the whole movie anyway.
Hey,
the movie ends up watching.
I feel you, Jose.
You gotta choose. The first movie you choose is the not watching movie, and then you watch the movie after that, like the real movie.
Yeah, word.
Yeah, and that sometimes happens in the movie theater too. You never know.
This guy.
Oh, okay. Jose, fucking 50 Shades of Jose over here.
This is not a new thing.
Oh my god. Somebody thought he was in middle school again.
Jose is something else.
You're telling me you paid that ticket just not to
that boy trying to cut the hole in the popcorn.
trying to get loose in Dr. Seuss. Tell me you never done that. Oh fuck, there's so many questions. Tell me you haven't chosen the fucking movie that you know there's not gonna be anybody there just to be there with your girl and have a little more alone time.
Like in the theaters?
Yeah.
Nah, I don't really care about that. I don't care who's around.
This. All right, you gotta be quarantined for life.
I haven't, but I definitely see the advantages and the point of doing that. So
I see.
What's up, Jose?
You guys might be surprised. We have never disrespected a movie, not once.
Wow, look
not
at the perfect relationship over here.
Wait. All right, that's cool. But how do you guys choose what movie to watch though?
Well, she hasn't seen a lot of movies, and she's really open to really watching anything because she just enjoys watching the art for what it is. So I usually end up picking what the movie is, or I'll give her like 3 options, and there'll usually be like 3 different ones. Like it'll be like variety. Like it'll be like Inglourious Basterds, Short Term 12, or Mother, and just like 3 options like that. And then I'll tell her what they're about, and then she can choose from there, and then we just watch it. and then we go get our snacks. We gain at least a pound every movie. And we just take it upstairs and watch on the nice 55-inch.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna lie though, that sounds like a privileged scenario.
Yeah, it's
Because
everything
you're
you
giving,
watch.
you're giving your options, and she just has to choose your options.
Oh well, that's how it's done. That's how it's done. She doesn't really have an option. She doesn't really like. I don't know. She doesn't have a lot of a lot of movie options.
Oh,
She looks at me for.
Yeah, she's not a movie buff like that. Is that what it is, Asil?
Not really.
Yeah.
Like she's seen movies now because I'll like show her the best ones.
Yeah.
But she never has like a bunch that she's just like in her pocket, like, oh, I gotta see this, I gotta see this.
Yeah. Okay.
I do like the your turn, my turn thing, Manny. But I think it depends on a lot of shit. It depends on if neither of us have seen the movie or not. It depends on if we're trying to get scared tonight or we're trying to laugh tonight. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, all that takes into consideration. But I think I always go the funnier route. I think comedy always just makes you feel better, and it puts you like in a better mood. And like you said, like I'm not one of those guys who, I think we're all pretty good at this, but like the drom-coms don't bother me either. Like I like a good love story. Obviously, yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? Like La La Land.
So we haven't played that one rom-com.
Well, that's the thing. Like La La Land isn't really a rom-com, but it gives both of you something to stay entertained with. You know what I'm saying? Because
luckily she likes all shit. So
Knocked Up is a rom-com. It's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, word. That
I've never
movie's
seen this.
Oh my lord.
like Along Came Polly is fire.
Yes, I have that movie right here. It's underneath me right now.
I've never seen it, and I've heard.
You should, Chris. It's good.
That
it's
movie
really
is
good.
so good. Let
Let
it rain.
Yeah, off rip. But yeah, it's tough. It's tough between friends. It's tough with the partner because we've seen so much shit, dog. Like, and that's always gonna be a problem. So you'd hope that she had, like you said, like you weed them out by like throwing out a couple options, your moods. But I just wanted to see like process or like your experiences with that type of shit, because that's the easiest date. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't go out all the time. So most of the time, you and your partner are going to be inside. So what's a good date night to waste time or to just be together is like watching something. Now, I have people like my sister. She hates movies. So I'm like, you're going to be the worst girlfriend ever. Like, if you
Julie
like,
hates movies?
Yeah, she doesn't like movies. She likes shows and shit like that, but
What?
and she has a husband. So let me not say the worst girlfriend ever because she found somebody.
Yeah, worse. She's married.
But
Happily and in love.
that's tough. That if you find somebody, it's like if I found somebody who didn't like music like that, or like, you know what I'm saying, like something that revolves around our lives so heavy, and then they're just like, yeah, I don't care about that. Like, what?
That's pretty crazy.
I want to divert on what John was saying. I had this question to ask you guys because we have been in quarantine for so long. What are y'all watching right now? Like, what programs are you guys watching? Like, what TV shows or like what movies you have in mind? Like, I personally just ended The Sopranos, and I'm in dire need of a new show to watch. I was thinking Money Heist. I was thinking.
Did you watch that?
I haven't. That's what I'm looking for.
All right, so let's stay there real quick. Watch it. Money Heist. Money Heist is one of the first shows that I caught myself talking to myself while I was watching it, where I was like sitting there and I'm like, how the fuck they gonna figure this out?
I don't know,
John.
John.
And then they figured it out, and I'm like, God, that was good. That was good, right? And then like my mom would just happen to stroll by, and then she's attached to whatever's on the screen, and then Julie will come by, and then she's attached. It's like something that grabs everybody's attention. That's really well written, really well acted. So if you guys haven't seen Money Heist, Casa de Papel, I think I should definitely check it out.
Did you watch the English version or the Spanish version? Oh, well.
And that was gonna be my next thing. I speak Spanish, so I want English.
It's that Spain. It's that Spain.
Yeah, I feel you.
I can't do the TH too much.
Yeah.
But especially because we're Dominican and we have like the slang of Spanish.
Fam, we have our own version of Spanish, dog. Like, it's not even.
Spanish.
And I think that the voiceovers were done well, where it doesn't bother you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they did the same thing for the platform.
Yes.
The voiceovers, so it's like barely noticeable.
Mm-hmm.
So it was between that, Money Heist, or the show that you watched, Devs, on
Hulu.
on Hulu.
Yeah.
So it was between that. I just recently finished watching The Midnight Gospel, which is a new a new cartoon on Netflix, and I think
Yeah.
I think all of us could relate to it because we're on the podcast now, and that show is like a podcast on acid. And I don't think there's any better description. So that's what I'm watching right now, and I think we would all appreciate it.
Yeah.
So what are you guys watching?
So to answer your question, I'm kind of the worst person to ask. I'm not gonna lie to you, because like mainly I've been watching movies, and it's been all the shit y'all recommend me. So it's like I know. Which by the way, I need another one, but we'll take care of that later. And then aside from that, I've been watching Sopranos, which you just finished.
So fucking
And
good.
yeah, no, it's fire. I love it so far. And then the only other thing I've been watching recently is The Flash, but I wouldn't recommend it because like the only reason I watch it is because I need some type of DC new shit to watch, and that's literally all I got. Like because the movies aren't coming out.
I cut that show off like 2 or 3 years ago.
And I'm not gonna lie to you and tell you it's good, but like it's just entertaining.
Yeah,
like I
just
love
to
seeing
watch
characters.
it, just
Yeah,
to watch.
like I love seeing the characters that I like pop up on screen, and that's basically.
I think they know, bro.
You.
I think they know coming into a CW superhero show. They're like, okay, we're gonna make 2 fire seasons, and then nobody's gonna watch the rest of the season.
Yeah, no one's gonna watch the rest of it. Like,
but we're getting funded, so fuck it.
No,
Yeah,
there is a lot of people that watch it because if there wasn't, it wouldn't be on air right now.
There's a lot of people that hold on to see if it gets better.
Yeah, I think that's what it is, Chris. Like, there's a lot of people that are hopeful out there.
Like, I remember when I was watching Arrow, like the first 3 seasons of Arrow were so fire.
Yeah.
To me, the first 2. After the first 2, I couldn't really.
Was the 3rd season with Deathstroke? Or
No, that was the 2nd season.
Okay, well, I thought the first 3 seasons were really good. And then, like every CW show, like the Flash and the Arrow, like after the 3rd season, it's like, all right, it's downhill.
It's like, what are y'all doing? Like yeah,
there's no more improvement.
It's because things gotta keep repeating itself, and like that's what people like get tired
CW.
of. They see it all the time.
See, Warner is just crazy with this, bro, because there's so much content there. Like there's an insane amount of content, and like where Arrow like kind of wrote itself into a corner, dog, is that like, so the Green Arrow off rip is a lot like Batman. Where they're different is that like their personalities are completely opposite. Yeah. But in the CW show, they just made them exactly like Batman.
Exactly.
So
like...
yeah, so it's like you get like this whole Batman vibe, and Batman's everywhere already. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like we've already seen all the best Batmans outside of that. So you know that just makes it feel that much more.
I say the cool thing they do with the CW is they connect all the shows together. And like, when they do
that
those
is cool.
Crossover episodes.
I just wish. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I just wish, again, it was heroes that we cared about. Like, if it was like Flash, Aquaman, Superman, Batman, like, that'd be lit. But I'm looking at Arrow, The Flash, The Legends, which was made up just for the fucking CW. And whoever.
I heard that was pretty good, actually, the Legends.
I like the first season of Legends.
Your season was good.
To bring it back to the original question, because we're going to sit here and talk about DC again.
We can be here forever. We can be here forever.
Save us, John. Yeah, save us.
Thank you, John. So Manny was watching The Flash.
So I think we're all pretty much like doing like 3 or 4 shows. Movie-wise, we've been in quarantine for so long, I'm sure we're all watching hella movies. So that'll be like a waste of time to like ring off of. But definitely Ozark season 3 was fire.
I gotta finish that.
Boy, that shit. Finish that, boy. That shit is. Oh my god, this is so good.
Outer Banks, interesting show. It's bad and good enough for you to keep watching. Like it's like a better version of a Disney Channel show
an adult
trying to be
Disney
mature.
Yeah.
Like the storyline, we've seen it before. The acting is kind of corny, but for some reason, you just don't mind going to the next episode and the next episode. Might as well finish it. We're already. It's like one of those.
That's
things.
Exactly what happened to me.
Are they hour episodes or half an hour?
I don't know.
I think like 45 to an hour, maybe.
Oh, Chris, I actually just forgot about this. I just finished watching this, but I don't know if you ever watched the Jeffrey Epstein documentary that's on Netflix.
I saw the first episode, and I was kind of good at like on that first episode because I already saw where they were going with it. But my dad wants to continue watching it, so we are going to. But that first episode is kind of like, it's so repetitive, like, and it's just like the same thing, and like. But I don't know how it goes on, so I want to see how it progresses.
If you hear like, and you know, before we continue, fuck this guy. Before we continue,
for sure.
But if you see like all the shit that like was around that story, bro, it's interesting as fuck.
Yeah,
so,
well, he knows because of Out of Shadows.
Yeah.
Out of Shadows, the documentary touched on it for a while,
Oh,
and
word?
because of that, I'm not watching the documentary because I'm
Yeah.
good.
Well, I actually knew about Jeffrey Epstein and who was associated with Jeffrey Epstein and all that before he killed himself and before he went to jail and all that stuff. My dad always kept me pretty updated with him, so I'll throw that in too, John.
Before he.
But yeah, I'm interested. It's gonna be like a push through it because I really don't want to see it. It's only gonna get like worse. I feel.
Well, I'll say this: if you've already seen like kind of a documentary on it, I don't think you got to watch it. Like I will say that much.
No, well, the documentary that he's talking about, Out of Shadows, that's definitely a part of it, but it's not the whole thing.
It's not the whole thing.
So it gave you like the back page summary of what Jeffrey Epstein did.
Yeah.
But this documentary gives you like way more than
full details on.
And then
like,
one of the most
way more
interesting
details.
things about it to me was that it gives you like from the perspective of the victims too. So I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah. So,
Again, you guys should watch Out of Shadows. If it's still on YouTube, they may have taken that down.
yeah.
I don't know if it's still up. If you guys can find a version of that, that's very good.
We'll leave it at
watch.
that. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. But so yeah, Outer Banks, Ozarks, and I've been seeing hella shit. But the last thing I've been watching that is fucking weird is Space Force with Steve Carell and dog. This is a weird show, dog. So well shot. Looks like a fucking movie.
Yeah, so much
but the
potential.
comedic timing is terrible, dog. You don't know what you should be laughing at. You don't know if the shit that they're saying is funny enough for you to even laugh at. Like, it's weird.
Yes.
You only watch it just to support the characters that you see because the actors on there are pretty well known actors, and they have a good cast.
The creator of the show made The Office.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Yeah, dog. What the fuck happened?
And it has Steve Carell as the main actor. So you're expecting it to be on point, but
it's like
it doesn't hit.
Putting Michael Scott as in charge of the Space Force, but a worse version of it, like a not well thought written Michael Scott. Because I remember Maciel might have had a theory where it was like Michael Scott is actually one of the best managers because of how
he's right.
Yeah,
well,
so
another pod, but he is right.
He's a bitch.
But in Space Force, it's like the amateur version of Michael Scott that somebody didn't just fully write all the way through. But if y'all want to, I'm like on episode 4, and I'm just like,
see, John,
you're still watching, John?
Unfortunately, like a lot of the feedback, excuse me, I take it back. All of the feedback that I'm hearing from the show is the same as that. So it's like I don't even want to check it out because it's like everybody that I know that that watched The Office like tells me this shit is trash. So I'm like,
I'm just telling you what I used to watch.
With all the reviews and stuff, I'm like, it can't be that bad. Let me watch it. The first episode, I'm like, yo, this is bad. Let me at least give it one more try. The second episode, nope, not for me.
Yeah, Chris, because the first episode, you're like, okay, there has to be more to the story, and then you keep watching, and they're like, oh, so there isn't a story. We're just here, we're freestyling this shit every episode. It's like,
I think that's what the show was supposed to be. I don't think it was supposed to be I think it was just like a parody of like what's really going on with like the Space Force and what it could be. I don't think it was
even if it was like that, it would have been good, but it's not good.
I feel you on that, but yeah, the comedy has to be good. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the problem. Like, I don't think I've laughed once, and I'm 4 episodes in.
Yeah, 4 episodes in.
I stopped.
I'll probably laugh because I love Steve Carell, but
that goes out the window. I love Steve Carell too. He looks like my dad, but aside from that,
yo, facts though. I never even realized that. Yes, and he got the white hair now too. Yeah. That's crazy.
I haven't seen Ozarks, but I need to see I saw the first 2 seasons, but I need to see the last episode. I just haven't.
Last season.
Yeah, the last season for the
Ozarks.
I haven't seen the last season either.
I just finished 13 Reasons Why though, the 4th season.
I'm good off that, bro.
Oh yeah.
Let's say that for another podcast.
Yeah,
I could roast the shit out of that show for a whole hour. So let's just.
I'm just gonna say this, but like no spoilers or anything. Like I've seen.
Spoil it. I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
for our viewers.
What you mean? I'm pretty sure they seen it or want to see it. But this season was really good, and the funny thing is, it has to deal a lot of things that we're going throughout right now, which is weird.
Yeah.
How they got that in there. That's another thing, but if y'all see, you'll get the references and stuff like that.
What is this, the 4th season?
This is the 4th season. Is the last one?
Is each season
It
about
got canceled,
about
right?
about a
I heard
different
it
girl?
got canceled.
No, not isn't. Each season is about a situation like it's very like out there and it's serious, but it's not. The first season was about that one chick. Yes.
Yeah,
That's
but
right.
but is each one is that girl involved in the other seasons,
No,
or
no, no.
is that just the one?
They're
Okay.
probably dragging the shit out of that storyline for
No, they're
4
not.
seasons.
Every
that-
season has its own storyline in it.
Why'd they call it 13 Reasons Why?
There were even 13 seasons.
13 Reasons Why that name was a mistake.
13 seasons why?
It's good. It's good.
13.
It's like Pretty Little Liars, like the changed like 19 times by the end of the show.
Yo, I don't want to hear it, dog. Because when this
That
show
was
came
lit at
out,
first.
yeah, when this show came out, that's the first thing I got reminded of was the Pretty Little Liars shit, dog.
Bro, I've never been so upset watching a show before, like tight. Like I wanted to. Square
I
up
see
with
that
my
shirt
teeth.
just shrunk.
Like when I saw that first season, I was like, "Why am I watching this?" Like you're watching Space Force and you're expecting it to get better. This shit got worse and worse every episode. I can't stand that show. It's irresponsible. I just can't.
Nah, the acting and the writing is good in that show. Just the situations are bad and hard to look at.
That's it.
That's not the problem. But
What
Asio,
else
what you watching?
guys been watching?
What you watching?
I'm honestly, as far as TV shows, I haven't been watching anything new. I still gotta watch season 3 of Ozark. I have to finish Midnight Gospel. I got like 2 episodes left. There's a new season. I don't think anybody here watches it, or I don't even know if anybody would want to watch it. But there's a new season for F is for Family, the Bill Burr cartoon show. It's pretty fun,
I've
in my
heard of
opinion.
it.
But yeah, as far as new shows, once Better Call Saul stopped too, I really started rewatching shit. I started rewatching Community, watching
Oh, man.
episodes of The Office.
That concludes our podcast, episode number 4. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Tell us what you think. Tell us what your process with your significant other is to weed down the process of choosing something to watch. It's a struggle we all go through. Give us your opinion about the NBA. Tell us how you feel about it. Tell us some ideas on what could be done or what shouldn't be done. Do you agree? Do you disagree? So remind us in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Press the notification bell. Till next time, tell a friend and tell a friend. Peace.
Peace out.